You're here in Malta for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. I figure the important thing for you is getting a strong support for Guyana on the border controversy with Venezuela. Is that so?
You're quite right. I mean, it is at the top of our agenda, and traditionally, at least over the last 30 years particularly, the Commonwealth has been one of the strongest voices in the international community about the rights of small states, not only in terms of environment, but also in terms of security and economic vulnerability. So, in fact, this is the best forum that we could have hoped for to advance Guyana's case as a small state, especially with regard to our territorial security. Yes, this is a very important forum for us.
Why is the Commonwealth a strong voice on this matter and other matters that Guyana is looking for? Because the Commonwealth often faces the criticism, like CARICOM, that it's a talk shop.
Well, the fact is that there are 53 states in the Commonwealth, and most of them are small states in the Pacific and particularly in the Caribbean.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to ask you about Aerokrama. I don't know if you think you're able to talk about
Exactly. Aerokrama is at the heart of Guyana. It's bigger than Malta. It's 371 square kilometers, as you know. And it was a gift to the Commonwealth at the time of the heads of government several years ago, over 20 years ago. Unfortunately, within the last decade or so, funding has been a problem. But Guyana is committed to Aerokrama, and the viability of Aerokrama is tied up to the whole issue of global warming and climate change. So it's not just a financial matter, it's not just a Guyana matter, it is a Commonwealth matter. In fact, it's a global matter because we see Aerokrama as a global laboratory for ecology and the environment. So we hope that we can move forward. It has already been put on the agenda in previous years, and we hope that this heads of government meeting will be able to move the agenda forward, particularly in terms of the viability of Aerokrama.
When you talk about pushing the agenda forward, are you talking about possibly bringing back funding from the Secretariat back to Aerokrama?
Aerokrama cannot survive, it cannot achieve the objectives which it set itself 20 years ago without foreign funding. And yes, that's what I mean. By advancing it, I mean advancing the mechanism for funding Aerokrama. It is an international scheme, and it is an international obligation to fund that scheme.
I just want to press you a bit more on Aerokrama. Why do you suppose that it has funding has dried up when it has Prince Charles as the patron, well, Granger in his own worries, but it has big backing, but it hasn't been able to garner funding? Why do you think that is?
Well, there have been other issues affecting the world economic community. For example, as you know, there's been a meltdown, a global meltdown in the stock markets over the past few years. So I think countries' priorities might have shifted slightly. And now we particularly would like to refocus on not only Aerokrama, but also the whole idea of low carbon development strategy and the other aspects of climate change, global warming, and in Guyana's case, even our attention has to be focused also on coastal zone management. So Aerokrama is internal, it's in the hinterland, but we also have to look at global warming in its wider context. But I cannot explain why the other countries haven't participated, but we are using this forum to encourage them to recommit themselves to Aerokrama.
Are you heading on to Paris for the climate summit?
Not directly. Perhaps there will be a break. I certainly wouldn't be going straight from here to Paris.
But you will be going?
I can't confirm at this point in time.
Very well. If I could just take you back to the border quickly, where is that position right now? Are you seeing progress as you wanted to see after the meeting with Mr. Van in New York?
And there was a meeting in Guyana recently last week. Can you say what came out of that meeting?
I don't want to discuss the meeting because it was with the United Nations, a team sent by the United Nations Secretary General, and I don't want to compromise the outcome by raising that matter here. But we are moving forward with that agenda. It is firmly in the control of the United Nations Secretary General, and I think we should wait for the outcome.
At this point, you're satisfied with progress since that meeting?
At this point, we're satisfied, yes.
Very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.